Good morning, 7 East. It's that day again. It is Monday, the first day of a new week. We are now in week 87 of distance learning. It feels like that, but we're only on episode 32 of Free LEPRE Radio. I'm your host, Mr. LEPRE. We are on the air for today's Monday episode. And let's take a look at our agenda. I can't believe we're already a third of the way through May. It's May 11th, 2020. So first thing we're going to look at is our weekly calendar, plus the final countdown. I can't play the actual song because of copyright. Inventions. I'm going to set up today's assignment for you, and it is all about inventions. If you're into science, engineering, and tech and all that, today and tomorrow are the days for you. And last but not least, our memes of the day. I felt I'd say goodbye to Oregon Trail with some Oregon Trail themed memes of the day. So that is going to be our show for today, Monday, May 11th, 2020. So if we look at our weekly calendar, which is also posted on Classroom, you'll see that today you have a new episode of Free LEPRE Radio, the one you're listening to right now. It's all about Age of Invention in the 1800s. Your assignment for today focuses on inventions as well. It is the Museum of Inventions questions from the slideshow, which I'll show you later in the program. And we have a Google Meet today at 12:30 to 1. This Google Meet might start a few minutes late. I will let you know. It could be 12:45 to 1:15. It's okay if you can't stay past 1 o'clock. Remember, they're not mandatory anyway. Tuesday, you have another episode of Free LEPRE Radio. It's all about the Industrial Revolution and reviewing the Museum of Invention assignment. No new assignment, though, on Tuesday. Wednesday, you get your second assignment of the week. It's on the first transcontinental railroad, and you're not going to have a Free LEPRE Radio episode that day because you have a video on the TCR, or Transcontinental Railroad. And, of course, the assignment for that's going to be a questions form that's going to be very similar to what you did for the Erie Canal. Questions on the video and documents at the end that you analyze and find the answer for as well. Thursday, Free LEPRE Radio, episode 34. We're going to talk about the impact of the Transcontinental Railroad and railroads in general in the USA. We'll also have some fun stories about train robberies from the 1800s with the famous outlaws, Jesse James and who else, if we've heard those stories. Google Meet from now on. Google Meet on Friday has now been rescheduled to Thursday. Teachers have been asked to do new things on the afternoons and Friday now, so they asked us if we would move our Google Meets earlier in the week, so I moved mine to Thursday. So the Google Meets now are going to be 12:30 Monday and Thursday. So there will not be a Google Meet on Friday. Now, Friday is a huge day for a number of reasons. There is Mega GimpKit 10, and I'm debating whether or not to change that to a Quizlet. There was some talk of people wanting to do Quizlet instead, and I'd, of course, be open to doing that. I've never actually made a Quizlet before, so I will make a Quizlet. If I don't get around to making the Quizlet for this week, I'll try to do one for next week to cover the whole unit and use that for Unit 8 as well. But Friday's video, many people have been asking for this, and I've finally given in and found the appropriate time to actually talk about this. Free LEPRE Radio is having a special programming alert. Even Stranger Things and the Unsolved Mysteries of the X-Files and the Twilight Zone returns. This is the first time we have done it since Unit 3. It's going to focus on some eerie mysteries from the Wild West. So stay tuned for that on Friday. There's going to be no new assignment. Hopefully it's just a fun day for you. You can play the game, and you can enjoy the Even Stranger Things. I promise you that some of this stuff is going to be very eye-opening and maybe not terrifying, but, well, some of them were terrifying, but I try to think of things on the bright side. The mystery itself is interesting enough to me, but stay tuned for that on Friday. And our number of the day is a number 34, because if you are tracking your calendar like I am, you will know that there are 34 days left of school remaining, maximum. It may even be less, I'm not sure, but I think it's 34 at most. This is assuming we still end on June 26th, a Friday. So 34 days remaining. I cannot believe we are down below 40 already. Just think about it. Next Monday, when you're listening to this show, it's going to be 29 left. Amazing. Shocking, amazing. I don't know. Possibly both, or neither. Back to our agenda. Now we're on to our second item of the day. That is inventions. And the way I want to talk about this is by revisiting the question from the beginning of the unit. I asked this question at the beginning of the unit in the first episode of LEPRE Radio for westward expansion. How did America grow and expand to become one of the most powerful countries in the world? That is what our entire unit is about. Remember, I had the picture of the tiny Uncle Sam and the huge Uncle Sam. In 50 years' time, America just grows humongously. Well, here's what we've learned so far. We've learned about how America expanded and got pretty much all the land that makes up the United States today. It was either gained through wars, purchases, or treaties. We did all the land except for Alaska and Hawaii, pretty much, which we'll do next year. We also learned why people wanted to move out west. There was the promise of land, gold, starting a new life, making a fortune, freedom, and so on. A lot of reasons people to move out west, kind of the same reasons why people came to America across the Atlantic in the first place. And lastly, we've also learned how America maintained control over all this new land, improving transportation networks to get people to move out west quickly and in large numbers through things like the Oregon Trail, Erie Canal, National Road, and so on. So all of this is stuff we've seen already, how America is expanding and growing stronger. Now our focus is going to shift a bit. Simply having a lot of land and the population to live on it doesn't guarantee a country grows to be powerful. If a massive country, like the size of Russia, with a population of 1 billion people, goes to war with a small country with a population of 1 million people, most people would assume the bigger country wins. And they'd pretty much be right, in most cases. But what if I add the detail that the bigger country has an army that uses bows and arrows, like you see pictured here, while the smaller country has missiles, jets, and tanks, oh my. Suddenly the equation starts to change. The country of 1 million people looks like they're probably going to win pretty easily now because they have another factor. Something that land does not cover and something that the population does not cover. And that is technology. Technology also makes a country powerful. If you are a small country with a small population, but you have the most advanced technology, you are in a very good spot to be in. It kind of guarantees that you're going to be protected. Other countries won't want to go to war with you because they're afraid of what secret weapons you might have. And that is where our focus shifts this week. America has the land. America has the population. Now America needs the technology, and more precisely the inventions, to help it surge ahead and be one of the most powerful countries in the world. The 1800s were a time of incredible experimentation and invention unlike anything the world had ever seen before. Think of it this way. We enter the 1800s with candles to light the way. We leave the 1800s with electricity, light bulbs. We already have like early movie projectors, cameras. This is really an amazing century for invention. Today's assignment is going to task you with looking at some of these new inventions, ones which are especially helpful to America's growth and westward expansion. Some of them aren't the most glorious or glamorous inventions, but they're ones that really helped America expand. So before I move on to memes of the day, let me introduce the assignment. So I'm going to X out my radio show and go into the Museum of Invention slides. So you're going to open up this slideshow with the incredibly apt background of gears and other invention imagery. And the directions are pretty simple. You're going to flip through the slides and read about the inventions created during the 1700s and 1800s. Most of them are 1800s. There's one or two from the 1700s that are still relevant. 2, after reading, you're going to go to the Museum of Invention assignment, Google form, and answer the questions. I start at the bottom. Each invention and its pictures are separated by slide color. This is me trying to make it simple. I don't want you to get confused. Each invention, there's text for it and pictures. I put them separated by color so you know which belongs to which. So for example, our first invention is the telegraph, and it has a gray background. And this is also about the telegraph. And now that we have a new color slide, you should know that this is a new invention now. And then so on and so forth. So you're going to go through these inventions. Some of them you probably know. Others you may have never heard of before. Telegraph, many of you probably have heard of. Steam engine. Dynamite, which will be very relevant towards the later 1800s. The miner's lamp. Matches. The cotton gin. Steam shovel. Combine harvester. You probably know a lot of these inventions, just maybe not by their name. Nitroglycerin, very dangerous, don't drink that. Sewing machine. My grandmother actually, she worked in in a factory that produced dresses, and she had this very old-fashioned sewing machine. It's probably worth a lot of money today. Should consider that for eBay in the future. Steamboat. So the age of wind-powered travel by sea is over. We now have steamboats. Locomotive and railroad. You can't talk about the West without the railroad. And that is the last invention. So you're going to go through these slides, take a look at the pictures, look at the inventor, read the description, and then the questions are going to ask you some important facts about these inventions, things that help us understand how they helped America grow and expand. So that is the gist of the assignment. Now remember, 80% and above gets you a PD grade, 50% and below a needs improvement, and 51 to 79 gets you a passing grade. If you need the grading parameters, again, they are on the top of Google Classroom. I posted them up there. They're going to stay up there. So now our memes of the day. I'm going to have to send off Oregon Trail, even though you're all still welcome to play it. Some Oregon Trail themed memes of the day. This one I thought was terribly funny, even though it's a kind of a annoying dad joke pun. So here we have Terry. That's a girl's name. And then it says, you have died of dysentery. Get it? You have died of dysentery, or dysentery, as many travelers on the Oregon Trail died of, including, I think it was maybe even Dr. Phil in my game had died of dysentery, or was it measles or cholera? I can't even remember. In the end, we all drowned. 2. Oh, I've experienced this too. This is how my first game ended. I don't think it was the Snake River crossing. I think it was the Big Blue River crossing. One does not simply caulk the wagon and float it. Not with 10,000 oxen could you do this. Thank you, Boromir. 8-bit Boromir giving us a dramatic end to this journey. Meme number 3. People have had oxen stolen, but I don't think any ninjas attacked. So ninjas attack, lose 8 days. I think that's actually very optimistic. I think if those 3 ninjas actually attacked, you lose all your days, because I think they would not leave a single traveler alive. And lastly, crossover episode. Star Wars and Oregon Trail. You have died of blaster fire, as an ATSD has pulled up on your caravan and blasted your oxen and wagon to the unknown regions of the universe or galaxy. Yep. And finally, I found out that this game exists, and I'm actually pretty amazed. I think I might do a Let's Play walkthrough for this one. There's this game, it might be free to play still, but I know you could buy it on Steam. It's not Oregon Trail, it's Oregon Trail. So somebody took Oregon Trail and they remade it into a zombie apocalypse game where I guess you have to travel along the Oregon Trail, but there's zombies. So it's like modern day, but you go along the Oregon Trail and there's zombies going after you. So I really think I really want to play this. This seems like a lot of fun. Probably would be better for Halloween time, but we're doing the Oregon Trail now anyway, so I might actually buy this game and play it and do a Let's Play video for the Pre-TV YouTube channel. Something to think about. But that does it for today's episode. Get working on that assignment. Remember, there is the Google Meet today. It might be a few minutes late, but don't panic. I'll be there. Wednesday, get your new video, and Even Stranger Things makes its long-awaited return on Friday. Have a good week. This is Mr. LEPRE signing off.